Well, I hope the best for Elon in this scenario as he goes to battle with the classic cry bullies of the internet, including one powerful enemy. It's an interesting kind of case study when you look at the ADL, for example, or mainstream media, or now Apple. I don't really understand what these agencies like the ADL actually do. Maybe that's because they don't represent me, I guess, and I don't know if they're actually doing good things out. And I'm like not, I'm like legitimately. All I ever see them doing is whining on the internet about mean words and then getting huge donations from people. That's what I see. I don't know if they're out on the streets actually helping the Jewish community. Maybe they are. I legitimately don't know. I'm not a part of that community. I'm just saying, as an outsider, that's what I see. I see them whining on the internet about mean words and then getting huge checks from people. Maybe they do more than that. I legitimately don't know. But Elon is definitely treading some interesting ground here. But I thought it was a particularly interesting. See, I already knew this. I knew this because I was in advertising, and I said the ADL can kick and scream all they want, but if people are making money on Twitter, they will continue to spend money on Twitter. Now, maybe Volkswagen takes a pause, or one of these other companies, they pause for a little bit, but ultimately, they're going to spend their money on Twitter. And here's proof of it. Here's Hank Green. You may recognize him from from Mattering 10 years ago, but he wrote yesterday, talked to an ad executive off the record this week, and they basically said, quote, yeah, advertisers are just going to keep buying from Twitter. They don't actually care. They're going to make a little noise, but it will have very little effect on Twitter's revenue. Yeah, no ish. When my marketing agency was my full-time job, I had not one but two Fortune 500 companies who did pause ads during the original adpocalypse. It took a lot of explaining for me to explain to them how that actually worked, because they just said, well, we don't want to advertise on YouTube at all anymore. We don't want to advertise on any content network at all anymore. And I said, that's stupid. Let's figure out what YouTube channels you are converting on, and let's still spend money. And then they eventually did. In fact, basically everybody returned to YouTube. Now, right now is a unique time. It's a holiday week. You would think ad spending would be up, but it's not. Thankfully, I've been selling coffee brand coffee like crazy. People are really picking up that gift box, so it's helpful. But what's interesting to me is this essentially a threat from the ADL. Jonathan Greenblatt is the CEO, and he writes, for Elon Musk to allow Donald Trump back on Twitter ostensibly after a brief poll, it shows he's not remotely serious about safeguarding the platform from hate, harassment, and misinformation. That doesn't actually say anything about that, but that's what Jonathan Greenblatt said. As we've said before, Trump used Twitter to foment intolerance, issues, threats, and get people to do terrible things. Now, when the left does it, when the left says get out there and get mad and go get yourself a new pair of sneakers for old what's-his-name, Jonathan Greenblatt doesn't say anything. It is my opinion that Jonathan Greenblatt doesn't actually care about, say, for example, the Jewish community, which is what the ADL is supposedly about, Anti-Defamation League, right? He cares about liberals and liberal things, leftist things. Moreover, he has shown no indication that he would do anything different if given the opportunity. When the ADL and other stop hate for profit leaders met with Elon, he committed not to re-platform anybody. Maybe he realized that all of your power relies on you kicking and screaming on his platform. Now, I don't want him to be banned, but Elon sure could take a lot of power away from the ADL if he just banned him off Twitter. You find these cry-bully agencies, ADL, the NAACP. There's many more now. Those are prominent ones. I really find it suspect what they even do for the community. Maybe they do good things. I don't know. But then he writes, here's what's an interesting is a threat. Elon Musk's decisions over the last month have been erratic. No, they haven't. And alarming, maybe for you. But also, this decision is dangerous and a threat to American democracy. We need to ask, is it time for Twitter to go? 9,583 replies, 4,000 likes. Of course, Elon Musk comes in there and absolutely buries him with a, hey, stop defaming me. They're libelous statements, but he is. You know, Stick Sexenhammer says, if you dislike people speaking freely, you can always go use Gab. Or Lauren Chen, I would love to see the ADL on Gab. He got CBS to stop posting. He clearly cares about stopping misinformation. Like, give it a rest. And by the way, you know, whether you not appreciate Trump's comments on social media, the head of the ADL threatening a private company to force them to keep the former president off Twitter is a far greater threat to American democracy than Elon Musk allowing Donald Trump back on. So many once good organizations have been corrupted with politics, from the ADL to the ACLU to the SPLC. So many NGOs with positive sounding names. It is pretty funny to me, right? Like, all these companies sit down. I'm sorry your grift is winding down. It happens. Sour Patch Lids. I mean, do they fight? And what grift? Fighting anti-Semitism. Do they fight anti-Semitism, or do they just kick and scream on Twitter and demand boycotts? The power they wield, the ADL and these other agencies, is simple. They can spin up a bunch of people to boycott stuff. That's their power. And boycotts don't really work. The left's been saying that for years. You see, in the new free-for-all version of Twitter, Kanye West is back and Elon Musk trolls the ADL. Was he trolling? He was literally saying, stop defaming me. I don't really think that's a troll. Elon Musk banter with Kanye West and trolled the ADL, signaling the no bigots barred free-for-all he apparently hopes the platform will become. This is from the Times of Israel. Why do they care? Just block Kanye and move on with your life. The exchange, testing, see if my Twitter is unblocked. West said midday Sunday. It's not clear if Musk, who finalized the purchase of Twitter last month, okayed West's return, but about 5 hours later, he appeared to be welcoming West, punning on his more recent name, don't kill what ye hate, save what ye love. Musk said in reply, except it's yay, not ye. But anyway, West's next response was simply shalom, followed by a smile emoji. Probably, a nod to the issues that he's had, some of the things he said. The exchange came after Musk responded to criticism from the ADL CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, by saying, hey, stop defaming me. He's really kicking a lot of bees' nests, but I think he's doing exactly what we know he's going to do. It doesn't matter. These people aren't going to leave. Advertisers aren't going to leave Twitter. What they're going to have to do is what we saw in an earlier video, be talking about going after the platforms and getting Twitter deplatformed from Apple or iTunes or whatever. That's what's going to happen next. You're going to start to see these infographics and, an independent scientist studied anti-Semitism on Twitter over the past 9 months or over the past 30 days and found a 9,000% increase. As far as I know, really, moderation on Twitter has not changed. I still see people getting banned or suspended for posting similar things. I assume that these people that have been returned, not just Trump, but Conceptual James, Savannah Hernandez, who I'm going to be live streaming with in a few minutes, all these people probably, they have to live by the same rules we do now. And if they do, if they make another, kind of remark like this, they're going to get banned again or suspended, or they'll have the tweet deleted and they'll get a timeout. Right. So as anti-Semitism spikes after the Elon Musk takeover, ADL calls for Twitter ad boycott. How does it spike? You just said it spikes. You're not showing it spiked. In what way has it spiked? Are you backing any of this with data? No, you're just saying it. More and more people are going to start tuning these people out. And it's sad because there is actual hate that they could be fighting, but instead they're more worried about making money and making strategic alliances with one side of the political aisle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Much luck to you, Elon Musk, and we'll talk to you again real soon.